What's up people, welcome back to another video. I've seen a lot of you guys grind a lot of rank this season and the last season because yeah, there's a lot of fun in grinding rank, and I've seen a lot of you reach diamond but struggle to reach masters. I have some tips for you guys which will be of real help if you have to stay alive in the top red lobbies. I know there are a lot of other channels and good players who play better than me giving out tips, but let me tell you, they don't know what it is to get out of diamond, because they know to play the game damn well, but we people who struggle to reach masters, we don't know to play the game that well. Before we can get into tips, I'll just start up with a basic thing that everyone should know. This is the two types of fights. So basically there's two types of fighting style. The first one is to immediately knock the opponent by swapping weapons, and second one is to prolong the duration of gunfight. The style of fight totally depends on the weapons you have. So if you have a assault rifle with a shotgun, obviously guys, I would say use the first fighting style. But if you have a sniper, it's a bit risky, but triple takes okay, but other snipers I wouldn't suggest you to swap and do the flick shots, but it is doable. What this fighting style offers is, if you can knock a person from the opponent's team first, then it will give an edge for your team over the other two get tensed and tend to do a lot of mistake, which if you convert can be of great use. So this is one thing, and this next fighting style is to prolong the fights as much as possible. This style of fighting can only be used in some fights. For example, if your team's not with you, either there's some randoms doing random stuff or they're catching up to you across the map, so you have to put some pressure on your opponent's team. What you do is deal some damage and reposition yourself to either a better spot or sometimes a bad spot, and then deal some damage again to the same person or someone different. If you get a knock, that's so good, so you can like push when your team comes, but if you don't get a knock, keep on dealing damage, so the pressure will be on the other guys. Talking about 1v3 fights, you have to use both the style of fighting to take on a whole squad by yourself. You have to convert the fight into 3 separate 1v1s. For that you have to knock the first guy whom you engage. So after knocking the first guy, the other two will either try to revive or push you. If they push you, fall back a bit and then try to engage them separately. If one of them tries to revive, then you can easily take out the other, because it's a simple 1v1. Don't give up your position unless you seriously have to. Keep on repositioning and keep the enemies guessing your position, and this will help you win the fight easily. So the next step I would like to give you guys is to maintain high ground and do not drop down unless there is a need. Like if you knock one, don't drop down to finish him. Wait for some time and try to clear out the whole squad before dropping down, because high ground is the key to victory, guys. Have you ever seen anyone lose with the high ground? It rarely happens. So keeping the high ground gives you a massive advantage over your opponents. So keep the high ground, guys. Don't drop down unless it's totally necessary. That's my second tip. Now the next tip I would like to tell, and rarely spoken and makes a huge difference in your gameplay, is to stick with your loadout. I know a lot of people do not speak about this, but sticking to your loadout makes a huge difference. I usually use the scout, and there are very few games in ranked where I have not used the scout. Make sure you use these weapons in the firing range before you actually get into a ranked match, and train a bit every day before getting into the game. I'm not telling you guys to use these weapons all the time. I'm just telling you, when you are playing ranked, try and stick with your loadout, and that makes a huge difference for sure. This simply means that use the weapons which you can use properly. That's it, guys. The pros do it all the time. I mean, you can see them using Wingman R99 in almost every match, and they don't think it's important, but let me tell you guys, it is. The next step I would like to give you guys is choose your playstyle and legend. Playstyle is just whether you like to push in hard and engage in close combat, or use snipers and G7 scouts and keep the distance. And choose the legends according to your playstyle. I mean, if you take Gibraltar and push every fight, obviously you will be the first one to get knocked. If you want to push in deep, then go with legends like Pathfinder, Wraith, Watson, and even Lifeline. Lifeline is now a bit viable because she's not low profile and her hitbox is same as Wraith's probably, but the main thing she has is the increased speed while healing, so that thing can just save lives, so make sure you give Lifeline a try. Even Mirage is a great legend to use in ranked. Avoid taking legends like Octane, who brings no value to the team in rank. Although it's okay to take him in plat lobbies and gold lobbies, please avoid using him in diamond lobby. So the next step I have for you guys is do not engage unnecessarily, guys. I've seen a lot of people do this. Whenever they see enemies, they just start unloading the clips on them, which is bad because it can simply attract a lot of teams. I mean, a lot of teams are just waiting to third party in rank. Everybody knows that. So just if you have a better position, make sure you engage, or else simply do not engage, guys. It can put you in a lot of trouble. The next step I have for you guys is learn to rotate, guys. I mean, do not pick fights unnecessarily. Learn to rotate from fights. So I'll show an example where our team made a really bad decision while rotating. I mean, I kept on pinging to go the other way, but our team just took engaged and we were squad wiped easily by the other team. So this is the clip.
Go on now, say hello. This way, let's go.
Placing portal. They spotted me. I'm taking shots. Portal placed. Reloading. Down. Contact with target.
Trap set and waiting.
Contact with hostile.
This tip's a bit different from the other tips, guys. So what I'm trying to tell you is do not camp in low tier rank games. For example, if you are in gold, please do not camp. Please, I'm telling you, you can easily win fights with your opponents in gold and even sometimes in platinum, but do not camp even in platinum unless you reach diamond 3. What this actually means is do not stay in a house and just watch and fence up, and don't do that kind of stuff and sit there for the entire game. Please guys, don't do that. Push fights which you can win and try to third party some fights or try to deal some damage from distance. Please do not sit in house unless probably when you reach the end circle you can do that, but at the very beginning of the game please don't do it. Although placements give you points, guys, you need the multiplier to raise the point, which can only be earned from kill points. So you need the multiplier, so you need to grab some kills. The next step I have for you guys is to use the cover properly. This can be game changing. Abuse the cover as much as possible. This is everybody tells you this, so it's not that much of a topic to stress about. So use the cover properly, it can be of great advantage, and avoid pushing in open area unless you are absolutely sure that the opponent can be taken down. So the final tip I would like to give you guys is to stick with your team. That is the key in rank, guys. Stick with your team. It's always better to have someone watch your back, guys. So stick with your team. Please do not do your own stuff. There is a reason a jump master is named before the game, so follow him or ping him where you want to go, so that he knows there is some place better than which he thinks. and try and stick with your team at any cost, guys. It is important to stick with your team to gain kills and gain RP. If you have made it so far in the video, I'm so thankful to you guys. For you guys, I have some bonus suggestions which are not of great help but can be of some use sometime. But before that, please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, because I have some more tips coming soon. And make sure you share this with your friends so that even they can be a predator. So the first one being, you can use Lifeline Scare Package as a cover in a place where you have no cover, like I just did. And second one being, follow the teammates who knows the game rather than who does not know the game. For example, you have a predator in your team, then follow him. Obviously he knows to play the game. Thank you all for watching the video. The rest is the ending of this gameplay, so please make sure you watch. It was a crazy ending though. Thank you all for watching the video.
Charging my shield. Tango killed. Contact. I've got some hits on me.
Up in the chimney.
Just a spare. 1 second. Let's go this way.
I think there's a trap around here.
Patching up.
Just giving my shields a recharge.
Less than 30 seconds. Rings nearby.
Body shield here.
Patching myself up.
Level 2. Health journey to me.
10 seconds. Rings just ahead.
Just giving my shields a recharge.